caught me. And look who built the villain you got talking.
Yeah, just like sit on the couch like how you're sitting right now and just like play a game.
Exactly.
And just chill out for a little bit.
Yeah, like fucking Modern Warfare, like you're sitting there like up close, just like.
You have to
keep my
pay
aim
attention.
straight, You know.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know there are kids that like they grab the controller from the other way, like they flip it around and like they use this like for the joysticks.
Really?
The fuck?
Yeah, they flip it around and they just play like this. So like the back of the controller's facing them.
That's crazy. Fuck no.
Yeah, no. I don't know how the fuck that works, but apparently you're better at Fortnite if you're at Fortnite and Modern Warfare if you do it that way.
Nah, I'm not gonna relearn a different thing just to play a game.
Makes me feel very boomerish.
Yeah.
Not the same way.
Yeah.
Like I ain't relearning it, dog.
I've been
Yeah.
playing like this my entire life.
Uh,
I ain't doing it. I ain't switching on now.
I remember I switched to Southpaw in Modern Warfare 2 because I wanted the quick scope better.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, we're going back to classic.
yeah. There's only so many things I could do before I'm just like, nah, I'm out. It's not worth it.
I
Like,
played so much Modern Warfare 2.
yeah. Modern Warfare 2 and
Same.
Black Ops 2.
Bro.
Or Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1. That Modern Warfare 2 for sure. Oh my god. Especially Black Ops 1 though. That story.
Man, when people started
That
quick scoping,
multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
that was
The numbers, Mason.
beautiful.
What do they mean? What do they mean? But welcome back to the other segment of the Wise Guys. One of the last ones we're gonna do for
It's like
today.
part 3 now.
I guess part 3.
Something like that.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah, yeah.
We're thugging it out. Ding.
We said
Our last segment.
but you said our best find of the year.
Oh yeah. So one of the last things I wanted to talk about, because we were mentioning about the best movies, some of the best movies that we've seen. One of the things that I wanted to mention is the best find. So that can just mean any movie that you found this year, since the end of the year is happening like this weekend. Like any movie, it could be from any time period. It doesn't have to be like it came out in 2023. It could have came out in the 70s, the 50s, the 60s, 2000s, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like I'll start with myself. But one of the best finds I think I found this year, two of them stick to my mind. One of them is very serious, and the other one's not. The other one's funny. But the first one was The French Connection. Like, it took me this long to find this movie, and I was like, damn, this is a really good movie. I've been wanted to watch it since one of the topics we were talking about before, but The Batman, because Matt Reeves is really heavily influenced by The French Connection, and I wanted to watch it, and I was like, damn, this is a good movie. The other one I found, not so serious, it was called Violent Night. The Christmas movie that you saw me, that shit was hilarious. It's Santa, like, fighting, I guess, the mafia, and he kills people.
Yeah, I
It's
remember talking about it.
Fucking great. Like, terrible movie, but great.
Yeah.
That's like such a perfect movie. That's a perfect way to end the holiday season for me. And that came out like last year. But those are like my two best finds. Did you have any best finds?
Honestly, Jima, did you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
So
yours?
the National Lampoon series, like the
Okay.
Chevy Chase movies.
yeah.
Okay.
So like I saw one with my mom because I was bored. Like we were just looking for movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw one. This was the one where they went cross country, and then there was the Europe trip too.
Yeah.
So like watching those movies, I didn't think really anything of it. I was like, oh, okay, they're okay movies. They're very old. They're dated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they really for they're not my comedy is basically what I'm getting at. And I ended up seeing another movie. I think it was on Amazon. It was on Amazon or it was on Netflix. And it's about the National Lampoon, the book, like the comic, not the comic book, but like the
comic
that, and all the people that like went into it, and like all the big name people that were like working on that comic.
Yeah.
That was absolutely insane. So like it leads into like, the national, like what National Lampoon actually is.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the most eye opening because I never really. We take our humor for granted, I think, right? Because like you had all these people, like all these like trailblazers, that like try to push comedy to where it is now, so like people can be more accepted to like we can laugh at the dark things,
Yeah.
like sure, like, like making jokes of like, oh, how did Sally fall off a swing? Oh, she didn't have any arms. Knock knock, who's there? Not Sally. Like that type of humor, right? Is like more accepted now, right?
Yeah.
And it
I just got that. That's fucking
grateful for
hilarious.
So I think that was like the most, I think that was my greatest find because it just makes me more appreciative to like
For comedy
for
itself?
comedy in itself. Yeah.
Because comedy is kind of like a dying art form.
When it comes to like film and stuff like that, like no one wants to take that risk of like
Yeah.
a good comedy movie because I can't. I think the last good comedy movie to me was like 22 Jump Street,
Right.
and it was good. It was funny. I don't think it was as funny as like 21 or some other ones, but
I don't know.
I would say
the
that.
the scene where he daps up Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, no, that
Yeah,
was
that's
the funniest
hilarious.
part.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But like it made me just more like going back to National Lampoon, like the documentary of like the comic strip and all that. It's like without them, like would we have had like Dave Chappelle and like
Right.
those are like that was my first exposure to comedy, right? Because like my uncle would like watch Comedy Central quite a bit, right? So like you watch the Dave Chappelle show, and like me as a kid, like I didn't get any of those jokes, right? So I would just laugh along. So like having those memories, I go back to it as an adult, right, and rewatch it. I'm just like, oh, that is hilarious.
Right.
Like cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. Racial drive. Yeah.
Fuck your couch.
Yeah.
Probably there's so many amendments, but if I could choose one, I would choose not one, not two, not three, not four, but so it's just it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And, you never really think of that, right? Because like we're at where we're at right now, right? So like you never think of like where we were before, and like how we got to the point that we're at now with comedy, and man, like where would we be without them, honestly?
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be very boring. It'd be a very boring state. Cause comedy is such a hard thing to like master. It's such a hard thing to like to be at that point, and especially to find what something is funny when people just don't take that. I don't want to say dark, but yeah, I would say like a little bit more harsh comedy. Because my first entrance to comedy was like Chappelle and fucking Family Guy. Like that was like my entrance to comedy, and it was really dark. Like you just chose to I just chose to laugh at it because if not, then I'm just gonna find almost half of this crap that they're talking about offensive.
Right.
And I think you have to take those strides and those chances because that's what really makes a good comedian great at that point, or a good show that's willing to take those chances or not. Like my perfect example is like in a really dry sense of humor, but like The Office to like Parks and Rec or even Abbott Elementary. Like I think Abbott Elementary is a great show. I think it's hilarious, but I don't think it's anywhere close to The Office because The Office was like willing to like say those crude things that were funny, even though it's awkward in some state, but it's still funny enough where it can, like you'll have a joke about it. Like people will remember some of the things from The Office than I feel like would Parks and Rec would be, because Park and Rec is just more. It's a good comedy, not a great comedy.
Yeah.
The Office is willing to. It's a good comedy that became a better comedy over time. Because to me, I feel like they were willing to take the chances for that.
Well, yeah, like I think for like a TV show, it's like hard because like in a movie, right? Like you could just be nonstop zingers,
Right.
just constantly being funny. But like for like a show, right? Like you got to be able to recall the lore and like make jokes on the lore to like include like the viewer, and like that's why I loved Community. Because like you would have like these memes or like things that the characters would do like previous seasons, and then they'd bring it up again. Like you would completely forget about like, you would like, there'd be some scenes where they would just constantly say like, "Oh, you Britted it," like, and they would just bring it up like every time Britta would like fumble the ball or like completely mess up, or like the Abed, what is it? Troy and Abed in the morning, like that recurring like, it's beautiful. In that way, right? Like. And I think when you look at like Family Guy and you look at the like South Park and stuff like that, it's constant zingers because like their shows are like always like concurring. They're always like going brand new. There's
They're
no
fresh.
there's no story like
Yeah.
in between them. They're just like constantly like
Going
pumping
with
out
it,
new
yeah.
content and content. Whether like with sitcoms and stuff, like you have like this over-ending, like just constant like lore and like how the characters are progressing down the way. And I think that's why like Modern Family did so well too, because their comedy was the same way as a Community. Like they just constantly built on one another. Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what makes a really good comedy for a TV show.
Well, I guess TJ, you have.
So I kind of have two in a way. So the first, and so I remember watching this like when it first came out, and I didn't understand anything of it, and it's The Social Network.
Okay.
I rewatched that recently, and I remember like because like when it first came out, like we were in like 8th grade, like, and I think I just watched it just because like Facebook was like legit becoming like the most popular thing like in the world at the time, and it was a movie about Mark Zuckerberg, and it was just like okay, like and I watched it not understanding like a damn thing about it, but for some reason I just wanted to rewatch it, and I watched it, and I was like, dude, like there's something so compelling about it, like and I don't know if it's like, and I was watching a video about like they're saying like can you still like this movie like knowing like who Mark Zuckerberg is now, and I mean I don't give a fuck about like any of that. I don't care about any of that. Like what I mean, like this is like just
It's
like
a good movie.
it's a like I like seeing like a movie about a shitty dude like basically like just like fucking over like the one like friend that like the one actual friend that he had, but like now he has it all, and like
But he has nothing.
but he still has nothing. Like he's still like at the end of this movie, like he's still like trying to friend Rooney Mara, the girl that was at the beginning of the movie, and
on a Facebook thing that he
you know what I
created.
mean? Like
And he's waiting on her response.
Right.
And then he'll like try to refriend
still
her
be
again.
like he's refreshing it,
Like he's refreshing the page just to make sure that if she got it.
right. Like
Such a sad ending.
it's like
but
such a
great.
sad, but like it makes
ending.
sense. Like for the character, because like in the end, like the first 30 seconds of this dude talking, and then like you just watch like the first 30 seconds of this movie, and then like you watch the end, you're like, okay, I totally understand. Like, I don't even need to watch the rest of this movie. Like, like you get like this dude's just a piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he got it all, and he still feels empty, basically.
You'd like the McDonald's movie.
Oh, the Founder. Oh yeah.
That's a good movie.
That was a good movie. Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
That I watched that a couple years ago, and I was like, man, like again, like a dude just like legit fucking over two brothers. Like that's just like insane.
And
Like
then they couldn't even keep the original McDonald's name, but they
Right.
still praised the original McDonald's.
like how insane, dude. Like
That's
like,
crazy.
Like I did not know anything. Like I'm like, bro, who the fuck is Ray Kroc? And I'm like, oh wow, that's.
What an asshole.
You know what an asshole. But I just found like the thing about like because I just remember like The Social Net, like when it came out, I remember like it won all these awards, and like it was just such a huge movie. Like I remember like there were so many posters, like so many, of course, Facebook posts about it, but like it was like such like a huge movie, and like to like watch it and like to like truly understand like why it was so big, and honestly like every performance in that movie, like I just found like so like Jesse Eisenberg, like that was like he killed it.
Andrew Garfield.
And like I didn't even know like that like and like to see like who Andrew Garfield like is now, because like he's like legit like one of the most talented actors like that we have right now, but it's like to see him like start off like there, like I don't know, like, and I didn't even know that was a David Fincher film. Like after all that, I was like, that's fucking crazy. Like
That's what makes it even better.
exactly. But I don't know. I thought that was like a phenomenal film, and another one, probably another David Fincher film. But again, like this was the year that like I like truly got into movies and stuff. So like watching Seven like for the first time, like just a haunting film. Like that was just like, man, like
One of Brad Pitt's and Morgan Freeman's like great performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mean, obviously nasty piece of shit, but Kevin Spacey, like just like that's just like haunting. Like
what he did.
oh my god! Like I remember like watching that like with like it was like daytime. Like I like my my blinds open and stuff like that. But like,
I'm wearing lizard shoes and a Rolex watch, and I get a limousine sitting out there a mile long with